Hello and welcome to my channel, Wildwood Vagabond. I'm Rachel. I wanted to share with you today 6 culture shocks that I experienced when I moved back to Texas from Finland. As most of you know, I lived in Finland for 4 years. Texas is where I was born and raised, and I lived pretty much all of my life. I was in for quite a shock after I moved back from being gone for 4 years, living in Finland. Most of you have probably seen my 10 culture shocks of Finland video, and if you haven't, where have you been? But you can watch it here. So without further ado, I would like to share with you the things that took me by surprise when I moved back to my home state after living abroad in Finland for 4 years. The first thing that I noticed immediately after stepping off the plane, the noise level. The noise level of conversation, the noise level of the traffic, the noise level of the music that they were playing in the restaurants. It was so intense, and it really took me by surprise. I had really grown accustomed to the Finnish way of doing things, and I had picked up several Finnish habits. I distinctly remember sitting at that restaurant after they picked me up from the airport, and it was so loud in there that I could barely hear myself think. I mean, I know that sounds cliche to say, but it really is true. I sat there, the music was blaring in the background. People were having such loud conversations. I had to almost yell at the server to tell him my order. I felt very anxious. It wasn't very fun. Getting adjusted to the level of noise, outside noise, when I'm trying to go to sleep at night. Here I am in the city, and our walls aren't as thick as the walls are in Finland. Our walls are pretty thin here, comparatively speaking. And number 2, the food. The amount of food that you get here. The selection that you have is so much. Every single corner, on almost every intersection, there are several fast food restaurants. Just in one intersection alone, I counted 13 fast food restaurants, and there were other restaurants that were sit-down restaurants in the area as well. There was at least 5 that I could find. I can't speak for all of America or all Texans, but from my experience, eating out is a huge part of the culture. There's some people that eat out every single day. A lot of people eat out every single day, once a day, if not twice a day. So for me, I don't like it because I don't like to spend the money, and I would much rather eat healthier at home, and I'm in control of my food and what goes into my food when I'm at home. I just kind of long for that Finnish simplicity that I had experienced. And the portion sizes, that takes me back to that when I shared about the noise level on number 1. I'm sitting there in this restaurant, my first night back on Texan soil. I'm almost yelling to give my order. Then they bring me out this huge portion of food that was enough for at least 3 people, and they just plop it down in front of my face, and it's just, yes, I had missed it because it was Mexican food, which is my favorite. I was glad to have it, but at the same time, there was just this struggle going on in me, going like, what in the world? I just, the differences were like night and day than what I experienced in Finland. And I just felt for a moment, like I remember just feeling so isolated and just like, do I even belong here? You know, this is my home country, but is this where I really belong? Like, am I American? Am I, you know, like, am I Finnish? I mean, living in Finland for 4 years doesn't make me Finnish, but I really related a lot more to the Finnish way of life in the end, towards the end of my stay there, and picked up those habits versus like the way of America, the culture of America here, the eating out culture, the loud conversations, the loud music in the backgrounds, the loud music in the stores. You go into a store, there's loud music. You go into a restaurant, there's loud music. You're visiting someone's home, it's just loud conversation. And I found myself just longing for some peace and quiet, some ruisleipä, some simple bread, simple meal, some salad. Just give me something healthy, give me something really simple and quiet, and hunker down in my own little corner and all's gonna be good. So many food choices just seems excessive to me. It just felt like this is so extra. Why do we need so many choices? Even in the grocery store, you go to get pasta sauce, there's 20 different brands of pasta sauce. I mean, why do we need one whole aisle with 7 or 8 different shelves dedicated just to spaghetti sauce that you're gonna pour over your noodles? It just doesn't make sense to me, and I feel like it just makes things more complicated. Yes, choices are good, but really, I mean, do we really need 20 different brands of pasta sauce for our spaghetti? Number 3, distance between point A and point B. Everything is so spread out here, so sometimes if I travel, I'm gonna have to drive an hour or more just to get to where I need to go. I got used to that. Everything was just kind of compact in Finland. Everything was right there. Everything's together. You want to ride the bus, you can make it home on the bus, you know, in a decent amount of time after work or after class. Here it's like, I'm gonna go visit my brother who lives in the same city, same metropolitan area, but like all the way on the other side of town. It takes an hour and a half to get there. You know, it's just way too spread out. You have to drive forever to get to any place. You're driving all the time. You're wasting gas. I guess what it is when I came here is just like this blatant slap in the face of consumerism. And if you want to know what's bigger in Texas versus Finland, that's one big huge difference, is consumerism and capitalism and plastic waste. The rat race here, everything moves faster. You know, it's a sink or swim. Like, you don't have any support. Everything is earned here. You know, you don't have access to healthcare, public healthcare. Everything is earned. Now, I say all of this and it makes me sound almost like I'm hating on my home country, and I'm not. I love Texas. Obviously, I was extremely happy to see my family and my friends, and it was great to be back home. I really miss this place. I miss the Texas sun on my skin, because by the way, in Finland, even though in the summer the sun does shine, it does not kiss your skin in the same way as it does here in Texas. In Texas, I love it. I can go outside, the sun is shining, I feel the heat on my skin. It's like the sun just embracing me and giving me a warm hug, where in Finland, again, it felt a little bit distant from me, and I longed for that. I longed for the Texas sun and heat, so I was glad to be back. Number 4, it's the shoe thing, like not taking your shoes off at the door. When I moved to Finland, I had to get into that habit of taking my shoes off at the door, because in the family that I grew up in and everyone I've ever known in Texas, I never have seen anyone here take off their shoes at the door, except for there was this family that we visited that did. But guess what? They weren't American, they weren't from Texas, they were from Iran. So that's the only people in my lifetime that I had seen take their shoes off at the door. To me, it's like common sense. Like, okay, yeah, you're walking outside, there's people spitting on the ground, dogs peeing on the ground, you know, all kinds of germs and nasty stuff. Why would you want to track that into your home? That to me is like a no-brainer, but I hadn't thought about that before I moved to Finland. So anyways, I brought that habit back here, and then I just would almost like cringe when my family or friends would like walk into their house with their shoes on onto the carpet, and I'm just like thinking, like inside just going, no, like why are you doing that? Ew. Anyways, I still take my shoes off at the door. Thank you, Finland, for teaching me that, because I feel like that's just the logical right thing to do. Number 5, the AC blasting. Oh my gosh, granted it is hot here in Texas. Why do we have to keep the inside temperature of homes at an Arctic 21 to 22 degrees Celsius inside the home 24 hours a day, AC blasting right on you? I was wearing a sweater inside in the middle of summer, and they're like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, it's freaking cold. I don't need the AC blasting on me. I was not used to having an AC running in the house, you know, having the air moving and stuff like that, because they don't really have AC, air conditionings, in Finland. It took me a few months to like defrost from being in Finland. I was so cold being there. People here were, when I came back, just about to be summertime. When I came back from Finland, people were just complaining about the heat. Oh my god, it's so hot, it's so hot. And granted, it was like 35, you know, it was really warm. I was loving it. I was like, yes, I'm defrosting, because I froze my little Texas butt off in Finland. Number 6, I kind of already touched on this. The amount of plastic waste here in Texas, it really feels like a heavy burden to me. It's sad. The milk in the stores comes in plastic containers. There's only very few things that come in the cardboard containers like they have in Finland. In Finland, everything, the juice, the milk, creamer, many things came in those cartons, cardboard cartons, but here most things come in plastic and few things come in the cardboard containers. I'm just really searching for a way that I myself can make a difference in this. We are drowning in plastic. We created it, it's a convenience issue, and now we're starting to reap what we've sown. The environment is now bearing the consequences of our choices. So that's, to me, a little bit disheartening, and that's why I have made the choice to do my part and to minimize the amount of plastic products that I use, you know, however I can. And I want to ask you, if you've never considered it before this day, just be mindful of the amount of waste that you produce, and be mindful of them, especially about the amount of plastic that you use and throw away on a daily or weekly basis. And just try to make small steps however you can, and just be more mindful about it, and do what you can to leave a lighter footprint on this planet. Those are 6 things that took me by surprise when I moved back to Texas, my home state. I do love Texas. Texas has so many great things, but I just wanted to be real and honest and share with you my experience, you know, coming back home. And I'm not even completely adjusted yet, and I've been back since 2015, and as I make this video, it is July of 2019. I do miss Finland so much, and I will be going back next summer. I do want to move back again and live there, but it will most likely be after my parents have passed away. I want to be here with them while they're alive, and then I will move away again. And it will be Finland. Finland, I'm coming back. I'm coming back, Finland. Alright, well, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. La-di-da, if you want to subscribe, all that good stuff. I do want to give a shout out to my faithful subscribers who comment on every single video. I really appreciate you guys. You're super faithful, and you watch every video and you comment on every video, and it really means a lot to me. So thank you so much for all of your support. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. Be blessed. Bye. I have not forgotten about my what's bigger in Texas versus Finland videos that I keep promising you that I will do. Situations out of my control that have hindered me from being able to do those videos. Please stay tuned and please be patient with me. I will get to them, and I have made a list of all the things that you guys have requested, and I'm gonna get to those videos as well. I appreciate your patience with me as I'm learning this all and getting it organized and going with the flow of life. Sometimes throws roadblocks your way, and you just gotta overcome it and just keep going. So much love to you all, and thanks for your patience.